But anyway, the next division. You want to talk about the West next, or you wanna go to the East? Which way you want to go? Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Let's go West. I feel like this is a
West. Okay.
very we're gonna have the same teams in the
That
West. So
helps
let's
me
go
out
there
because
first.
my notes actually went from South to West, so that's clutch.
Southwest Plumbing.
The one to call.
So last place were the Denver Broncos at 5-11. Drew Lock is an awful quarterback who they should not still be fucking starting. I think he's trash. Just because you have a big arm doesn't mean you're good at fucking throwing a football.
He sucks.
He sucks.
And it's really funny to watch. I love when he like has one good game a season and like starts like walking around like he's hot shit, and then he just throws like 5 picks the next game because he sucks.
He reminds me of every other Broncos quarterback since Peyton Manning. Just some white guy who sucks at football.
Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian. You remember fucking even like Osweiler, dude.
Osweiler was better than Locke. There, I said it.
Yeah, I think
Fuck you,
Osweiler
Denver.
was better. Dude, Locke is awful. I think Simeon was better than Locke. I think Locke's better
Lynch,
than Lynch.
it's close.
Yeah, I think he's better than Lynch.
I would say he's a little better
Yeah,
than
Lynch was straight fucking
He was
garbage.
bad.
So they traded for Teddy Bridgewater, which I actually predicted. I predicted. No bullshit.
You were going to bet on it.
Couldn't find a place to bet. Figured there'd be some shit on my bookie, some bullshit like that. Sports book, maybe. Nothing.
FanDuel.
I think I checked FanDuel. Couldn't find anything. Looked up like how to bet on free agency.
Maybe
some shit.
online is messed up in Washington. I know that it depends on the state.
I thought they were gonna draft Fields in the draft. They decided
Everybody
to draft
did.
Surtain.
Everyone did.
Yeah, I wonder why still, because their corners aren't even really that bad. Like their defense wasn't the problem. It's the offense.
No.
It's the quarterback.
They clearly had one position where if they upgraded, they would become way better. And so to not take a guy who falls to you, I get not wanting to draft up, but someone who falls to you that at one point was the second overall prospect, it's strange to me. Unless they just didn't like him at all.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, no, we don't want Fields at all. That would make sense, I guess. That must have been it, right?
Yeah, to be fair, last season they had like some injuries on defense. Like Von Miller didn't play. I think Chubb got hurt at some point. But that's like on the line. They have a really good like safety. Like Simmons is really fucking good. I just don't see where Surtain really like fits in right away. Whereas another quarterback that you could kind of start developing right now, because you're in a division with a football god. Herbert looks pretty good, and I personally
He looks like he's about to become as good. Honestly,
and I don't think Carr is trash. People diss on Carr. I don't think Carr is garbage. So
Carr's good.
You're fucked with Locke. Locke isn't going to develop because he regressed last year by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he was really that impressive in 2019 when he played those first couple games anyway.
Right.
So I also think I'm surprised the coach is still there. What's his name? The old Bears guy. Fangio? I think it's Fangio, right? Their coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still there too. Elway thankfully stepped away from being the GM, but
He gave himself a promotion. He's now the team president.
Dude, a fucking course. I mean, I guess as long as he's not directly the GM, I mean that's still
It's a
kind of
better
what he's
position
doing,
for
though.
him. It makes a lot more sense. It's just funny that it technically is a promotion.
Yeah. I think they're just going to keep drafting tall white quarterbacks and they're all going to not develop. I do like that they traded for the complete opposite of like Drew Lock.
That's why they didn't draft Fields, is because he wasn't white.
Oh.
Oh.
Dude, Bridgewater is going to start over Lock halfway in the season.
Oh.
I guarantee
That's
it.
true. That's a good point.
Maybe not. They might be just super stubborn. They might trade for
just
Minshew.
hold on to yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Hey, Minshew.
Bridgewater is good though. I think Bridgewater is a good choice for them.
Yeah, Bridgewater is like the best safe bet quarterback in the league. So The next team was the San Diego. I refuse to call them LA Chargers. They went 7-9 last year, and they somehow stumbled upon a football god because Herbert was legendary last year.
Nobody thought that he was going to be very good.
I thought he sucked.
Everybody said he was going to be the bust, and I didn't think he was going to be any good.
I hated him.
And all of a sudden, he comes out with no warning. He had a 5-minute heads up against the Chiefs, and we're like, "Whoa, how is he a god already?"
Yeah, they almost won.
He lit it up. He was so good. Immediately.
I hated him so much in Oregon, and I did also think that him going back to school was like a bad idea when I heard about it at the time. But honestly, like, he's in a really good position. Like, the Chargers aren't that bad of a team. They lost a bunch of one-possession games, and they choked a bunch. That's kind of their thing, right? They just blow it at the end.
And that usually points to coaching when it's,
Yeah.
because the talent's there. No one can deny that.
Their new coach is a McVay boy, just like the Bengals coach, though.
What do you think? I don't know if you've seen any interviews with him or looked into him at all. If you have any opinions on Staley.
I have not. I just know from, the past. The last McVay sort of coaching guy was Zach Taylor, who I'm surprised still has his job, personally.
I think Zach Taylor sucks, but Staley, I've heard some interviews, and he seems like he's a lot different. He seems like he's going to be really good. That's my next bold take. Staley's going to be a really good coach.
Staley's going to be good.
I think he's going to be more LaFleur than Taylor. That's my prediction.
I really don't like Taylor. I hope Staley's good just because I like the Chargers. I like Herbert.
Yeah.
And I mean, their defense, they have a lot of good pieces. Like, they got Bosa. Hopefully, Derwin James will actually be able to play a season for once instead of being hurt. They still have Keenan Allen. They lost Hunter Henry, though. But
he's now with the Patriots.
Yeah, he is at the evil empire, right? But I think
right.
the Chargers, I think they go up from last year. I think they kind of take those one-possession losses and flip them for some dubs. Finishing second that year was Vegas, the Raiders.
Vegas Raiders. It's still weird to say Vegas.
Yeah, and now Oakland's going to get rid of the A's. Like,
man,
it sucks.
Rest in peace. Are they also going to Vegas? Are we going to have the Raiders and the A's in Vegas? Like some sort of weird alternate reality that will be ours?
I think it's whoever's going to build them a stadium, to be honest with you. Portland or Vegas. I think it's more Vegas.
I would love it to be Portland, but
yeah, that'd be
I
sick.
don't think that Portland's going to be as keen on it. All I have to say is Portland, jump on it.
Portland, jump on it! Jump on it! Jump on it!
I think we need to start having the discussion about Gruden.
Why haven't we had the discussion about him yet? Why isn't this more talked about?
Yeah, I think it's because of that contract. He has that security. 10 years, man. 10 years. And
it's ridiculous.
He didn't even draft a quarterback to try and, like, change things. I don't think they even really have to. The Raiders' secondary is so bad. It might be the worst
it's
in the
all
league.
in their linebackers. It's in their corners. Like, they need defense, and they just can't. They can't. Every year we're like, all right, the Raiders need defense, and then they draft like a tackle, and then the fastest receiver,
Ruggs.
and then like they suck. They always suck because they just don't have a defense.
Like, everyone remembers the really shitty players the Raiders get.
They always reach for someone who sucks in the first round. That's their thing. That's their meme.
Well, I mean, their GM is literally the old NFL Network mock draft expert. He's not like someone who had to work his way up the NFL sort of executive type fucking social hierarchy.
Their next GM is gonna be Mel Kiper.
Dude, it might be, honestly. It'll be fucking Booger McFarland.
He's probably a Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
The Raiders don't know how to run a front office, and it shows. Like,
No, they don't.
The Raiders actually have like the fewest winning seasons for like this century. I think like during the 2000s.
That's
I
amazing.
think someone said, yeah.
Given their like illustrious history, they just suck. I feel like every year Derek Carr plays way better than anyone gives him credit for, and then their defense like loses them a game, and then everyone goes, well, that's what you get for having Derek Carr. It's like he's never really been the problem.
Yeah.
He's actually been really good, and one of the reasons that they've been as successful as they have been,
I'm a Carr
and
homer.
not worse.
I really like
But
Carr.
I think Carr is so much better than people give credit for.
Like Mark Davis's haircut is the visual fucking representation of the on-field product that the Raiders always fucking show. And then the last fucking team, as everyone knows, Kansas City, 14-2, runner-ups in the Super Bowl. They're like the most, in my opinion, the like most boring team to talk about now, because you already know what you're gonna get out of them. They have the best player in the league, the best offense. Their defense is okay. They'll probably make it back to the Super Bowl.
They're a Madden team. They literally like. I remember when one of my friends is a Chiefs fan. He came over and he's from Kansas City. He's a real Chiefs fan. And he comes over, and it was against the Ravens, and I'm like, man, don't get your hopes up. This will be a good game. And then like first minute of the game, like it's just like a 60-yard bomb, Mahomes to Hill touchdown. I'm like, this is just Madden. We're just playing Madden here. Like this isn't real. Like these guys last year, nobody talked about them because they already knew how good they were. They went 14-2.
Yep.
They were so good. Their losses were like flukes. They barely lost their losses.
The Raiders took a game from them, and I think the Falcons, right? I think the Falcons beat them.
They were fluke games. They
Yeah.
were weird. They just happened, and like they were a team that a couple different plays could have changed it to 16-0. I mean, they were unbeatable until the Super Bowl.
Well, in that Super Bowl,
and injuries
Yeah.
were a huge role in that Super Bowl.
that's what I was gonna say.
Huge role.
The whole entire game was just Patrick Mahomes running around in the backfield because they didn't have anyone to block. They have made some. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised at the moves they were able to make in the offseason to pretty much like.
Do they have the best GM in the league?
O-line.
Is Veach the best GM in the league? Because every time you don't think they can get better, he finds a way to sign the best player available for nothing.
Brett Veach
For nothing.
is what I wish my name could have been in like
Brett
another
Veach.
life because that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
a good one.
I do think he's the best GM though, because I didn't think they were able. I can't believe the Ravens made that fucking trade with him, with fucking Brown. Like
Orlando Brown.
I don't know how he keeps doing it. They haven't lost anyone super important yet. I mean, I feel like the Chiefs are just the pick again, and they come out of the AFC. If they do lose, I think it will be because of that defense though, instead of the offense. Because the only way you can beat them is by just fucking having shootouts, unless your defense is as stacked as Tampa Bay's was. But who else
Right.
has that other than like?
It's pretty rare, and
Baltimore?
that's
But they always.
that's a
beat Baltimore.
top tier defense against an injured O-line. Like
Yeah.
that was an anomaly how that happened.
They weren't at full strength, and it showed the whole game from like the start, really.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, on paper, they had the most impressive season. Because other than 3 games where it was 2 of them were kind of close games that could have gone either way, and one of them was you have an injured offensive line and you just don't really have a shot. Other than that, they were perfect all year. So
also, Mahomes
very impressive year.
is like the LeBron. Football's never had that like kind of LeBron person until Mahomes. Mahomes is literally like a god, bro.
But he's not going to jump around to 12 different teams.
Nah.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's not going to do any of that. He's going to be on the Chiefs forever. Okay, so at the bottom we have Denver. Again, they suck. 3-14. I have them. I think
Nice,
they will
nice.
suck. Like, I don't think that they're just gonna suck. I think they will eat shit all year. They will suck.
Yeah.
Next, I have Las Vegas going 8-9. I might be being a little too generous by saying 8-9. I think they will have a really bad year. Their entire line left, and they drafted a lineman. I think they signed a lineman, but they're going after the wrong shit again. And I just don't think that Vegas. I don't think they know what they're doing, and Gruden is an idiot, and they're gonna need to get rid of him if they ever want to be better than a, what we used to call an 8-8, a 500 team. Now 500 doesn't exist,
Yeah.
but 8-9 is what I have for them. I think the Chargers take a big step forward and go 10-7. I think they'll have a
Okay,
very good
nice.
year. I think that Herbert's going to take another step. I think that, like I said, Staley's going to make a lot better decisions and get him some wins. And I have Kansas City going 14-3. They're going to have a great year. I will say that if there's any team that has a shot at 17-0, it's Kansas City. It's not Tampa, it's Kansas City.
For sure.
Because they have something to prove after last year's Super Bowl. I wouldn't be that shocked if they had a perfect season or if they went 16-1 or something like that. But I'm going to say 14-3. I think it's a long season, especially with 17 games. They're going to drop a few. 14-3, about the same as last year. They'll be just as good.
All right, so my standings once again, I have the same placement, but I have some different records here. So I have Denver going 5-12. I'm not as low on the Broncos because
They suck.
do think they have some good pieces. But yeah, they're trash. I think Fangio's fired after this season. I think Locke is definitely kind of out of Denver. I think Las Vegas, I wrote Oakland on my paper.
Classic.
I have them also going 5-12. I think the Gruden experiment is not going to work. Like you said, their line, everyone is gone. And their O-line used to be really good, actually. And combining that with the defense and really just an offense that's kind of carried by three players in Carr, Jacobs, and fucking Waller, they kind of strike me as kind of like the Falcons, a team kind of like that. I think they're gonna.
It's a good comp.
Yeah, really be like 5-12, some bullshit like that. I have the Chargers being 11-6.
Okay.
I think, honestly, they could have been a playoff team if they played their cards right, didn't choke. So I don't know about Staley. I do think though that no one can be as bad at blowing games than Anthony Lynn. Like that dude could not stop doing it. Herbert will have.
Now he's in Detroit with
my
Fred
God.
Flintstone. We'll talk about him later, though.
Fred Flintstone in Detroit. Kneecap guru. And then I have KC going 15-2. I mean, they got Andy Reid, they got Mahomes. They're set.
It's a good call.